Hello students, this is class 6 geography chapter number 1 our earth and the solar system part 2. In the previous part we have covered some of the topics of this chapter such as universe, galaxy, stars, light year, the solar system. In solar system we have learned about sun, the largest member of the solar system, that is sun. Even we have learned what are planets, and all the 8 planets in detail we have learned in the previous video. Now in this video we are going to cover the rest of the topics of this chapter. So let's start. Now let's see the topics of this video which we are going to learn in this session. First, satellites, moon, asteroids, meteors, and comets. So these are the topics which we will cover in this module. So the first topic is satellite. So let us know what is satellite. The word satellite means an attendant or a companion as they revolve around the planets. Satellites are of two types, natural satellite and artificial satellite. Natural satellites are the heavenly bodies which revolve around the planets. Example, the moon is the natural satellite of Earth. All the planets have natural satellites except Mercury and Venus, whereas artificial satellites are man-made or human-made satellites. Artificial satellites help us in knowing weather forecasting, telecommunication, and various other activities. So in this module, we are going to discuss about the natural satellites in detail. Let's discuss about natural satellites. Natural satellites are heavenly bodies that revolve around the planets. The word satellite means an attendant or a companion. The satellites revolve on their own axis. The satellites move around the planets from west to east. Mercury and Venus are the only planets that do not have their satellites. Satellites do not have their own light, and they shine because they reflect the light of the sun. Moon is the only satellite of our planet Earth. Let's know about the moon, that is the natural satellite of our planet Earth. Moon is the only natural satellite of our planet Earth. It is the closest celestial body to the Earth. It is about 3,84,400 kilometers away from the Earth. It has no light of its own. It reflects the light of the sun. The moon appears to increase and decrease in size. It appears at different positions and different shapes at different times. There is no air and water on the moon. It does not have an atmosphere like our Earth. Thus, there is no life on the moon. The moon is very hot in day, that is 120 degrees Celsius, and very cold in the night, minus 120 degrees Celsius. Two American astronauts, Neil Armstrong and Edwin Aldrin, landed on the moon. They explored the surface of the moon. So let us know about the phases of the moon. Phases of the moon. The phases of the moon are the different ways the moon looks from Earth over a month. A phase is an angle of the moon to the Earth, so it appears differently every day. The lunar calendar is based on the phases of the moon. Phases are caused due to the revolution of the moon around the Earth. The moon takes 27 days and 8 hours to complete one revolution around the Earth. The visible shape of the moon that reflects sunlight changes from night to night. When the moon travels from the new moon to the full moon phase, the visible portion increases. This is called as waxing of the moon. When the moon travels from the full moon to the new moon phase, the visible portion decreases and it is called as waning of the moon. Actually, the moon is constantly half bright and half dark, but the angle of the view from the earth keeps on changing. So let us discuss about the different phase of the moon. So we will start first from the new moon to the full moon phase. So this phase, when the moon travels from new moon to the full moon phase, this phase is called as waxing of the moon. So let's know in detail about the new moon. A new moon is when the moon cannot be seen because we are looking at the unlit half of the moon. This phase occurs when the moon is directly between the earth and the sun. A solar eclipse can only happen only at new moon. New moon is also called as Amavasya. Let's move to the next portion of the portion, that is waxing crescent. Waxing crescent moon is when the moon looks like crescent and it increases in size as the days passes. Next, first quarter. The first quarter moon is when the half of the lit portion of the moon is visible after waxing crescent phase. Then we will move to the waxing gibbous. Waxing gibbous moon occurs when more than half of the lit portion of the moon can be seen and the shape increases in size from one day to the next. Next, finally, it reaches to the full moon when the full lit portion of the moon is visible from the earth. It is also called as Purnima. A full moon is when we can see the entire lit portion of the moon. A lunar eclipse can happen only at full moon. Next is the waning gibbous. Now here we can see the journey from the full moon to the new moon, and this phase is called as waning of the moon. Now after full moon, waning gibbous. Waning gibbous moon occurs when more than half of the lit portion of the moon can be seen and the shape decreases in size from one day to the next. This is waning gibbous. After that, the moon travels to the third quarter or the last quarter phase. The last quarter moon is when half of the lit portion of the moon is visible after the waning gibbous. Finally, it reaches to the waning crescent moon is when the moon looks like the crescent and the crescent decreases in size. Finally, it reaches to the new moon phase. This is all about the phases of the moon. As the moon travels from new moon to the full moon, the shape of the moon increases, and when it travels from full moon to the new moon, the shape decreases. Asteroids. Asteroids are small rocky objects that orbit the Sun. Although asteroids orbit the Sun like planets, they are much smaller than planets. They are also called as planetoids or minor planets. Scientists believe that asteroids are the broken parts of a planet. There are lots of asteroids in our solar system. Most of them live in the main asteroid belt, a region between the orbits of Mars and Jupiter. So let us know about meteors. What are meteors? At night, you must have seen some bright streak of light moving across the sky with great speed. These are called meteors. Meteors are also known as shooting stars, and they are the species of dust and debris from space that burn up in Earth's atmosphere when they can create bright streaks across the night sky. Like other heavenly bodies, they also revolve around the sun. They cannot be seen as they are very small. It can only be seen when they enter the Earth's atmosphere. If a meteor makes it to Earth, it is known as meteorite. That means when it enters the Earth's atmosphere and they do not burn completely, that is called as meteorite. Before they hit atmosphere, the objects are called as meteoroids. Now let us know what is the difference between meteor, meteoroid and meteorite. Meteoroids are those heavenly objects in space that range in size from dust grains to small asteroids. They are as space rocks. When these heavenly objects or meteoroids enter Earth's atmosphere at high speed and burn up completely, the fireballs or shooting stars are called as meteors. And when these big meteors do not burn up completely and reach the Earth's surface, are called as meteorite. Now can you see this large depression? This type of depression occurs when the meteorites hit the Earth's surface, and these are called as craters. A crater is a bowl-shaped depression or a hollowed out area produced by the impact of meteorite. Craters produced by the collision of a meteorite with the Earth are called as impact craters. Some such craters can be seen at Arizona in USA, which is the largest known crater in the world. Now we have come to the last topic of this chapter, that is about comet. Now comets are celestial bodies that made up of snow and rocky dust. They also revolve around the sun in their own orbit. When comets reach near the sun, they develop a long tail that starts glowing. The tail is thousands of kilometers long. The most famous comet is the Halley's Comet. It can be seen once in every 76 years. It was last seen in 1986. There are some comets that take even more than Halley's comets to the orbit of the sun. Sometimes if the comets are very bright, it can be seen without the aid of a telescope. So students, here are some questions which you can answer to evaluate yourself. But before answering these questions, just go through the video properly, then you can answer. Hope you have liked the video. Thank you.